that's a tremendous looking trophy.
Hello, welcome to Platinum Social, number one PlayStation podcast that releases fortnightly in the Oceanias. My name's Dylan Blight. Joining me, Ashley Hobley.
Hey, Don, excited to be here in an episode where there was actually news out. That's crazy.
Kind of, there's at least a few news stories. Yep.
Not enough
Anyway.
to do a weekly show about PlayStation.
Not enough to do a weekly show. That's what I was about to say, but I was like, I can't keep making this fucking joke point every week. But here we are. Yeah. There's enough news stories to do a fortnightly show. There's not enough to do a weekly show. That would be insane. More power to you if you are, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you can talk about PlayStation every week,
And only
more power to you. Only PlayStation. I don't mean like PlayStation third party news. I mean PlayStation only news, you know? More power to you.
Mm-hmm.
Quickly, before we get into some news stories for this week, though, I do want to say, I talked about on Arcade Couch, obviously, my review for Cat Quest 3 and how I played Cat Quest 1 and 2. The thing I left out, because it's not really a thing for that show, but it is a thing for the show, is I do have the platinum, so all three of those games as well.
Really?
So, yeah.
They were reasonably easy to get?
Oh, they're just 100% the game.
Okay.
But I mean by
Easy to
100%, yeah, like I think the first, I think the first one took me at 6 hours, 7 hours to 100%. And I think the second and third one took me around 10 hours each, 100%.
Okay.
That's what I mean when I'm saying like they give you this sense of like achieving so much more, but they're like a very achievable like open world RPG game. Repetitive in some of them. Like there was a part where I was grinding out to raise levels for half an hour at some point to do because I was stuck on like a optional boss, and the second one that was kicking my ass, and all I did was just chuck an audio book on, which I'm what the fuck did I say I was listening to? Oh, the
Easy Rider.
The Easy Rider one, yeah. Which so like I just listened to a bunch of that while playing some of these games. So, you know, even Cat Quest 3. I was like, I finished my quest, did all thing. I'm like, all right, I'm just trying to find these secret weapons and whatever else. Just chuck that audiobook on and off I go. So yeah, if you want 3 easy platinums, Cat Quest 1, 2, 3. Now I know for some people they're like, I understand that the quote unquote easy doesn't necessarily equate to 6 to 10 hours, but they are if you want 6 to 10 hours, and if you'd like sometimes, and I used to search these out too when I had more spare time. Sometimes it's nice to have a platinum that you're going for in a game like this that is very much you can just turn the sound off and listen to an audiobook / podcast for 6 to 10 hours. Like it is the perfect game for that. You do not really need the sound, to be honest. All right, some news. Let's get into it. I was like, hold on. No, also there was. I forgot the name of it, but anyway, hold on. The other shout out was Buddy did send me last week, I think, a screenshot at some stage of a game that I also got the platinum in. It was called.
You got the
Puzzle
platinum,
Drop.
but you didn't remember what it was called.
No, it's terrible. It's called Puzzle Drop Carnival. It's free. It has a platinum. It's a puzzle game. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Mr. Watson.
Like free like forever or like free right now for a limited time?
It just free. Unless it's an error, it's just free. Not part of PlayStation Plus, not part of PlayStation Plus Extra. It just on the store, it's free. It's a puzzle game. Like like a jigsaw puzzle game. And all the trophies are like beat each of the, like you do like 3x3s or 6x3s or whatever. Like you just beat them all without making a mistake. And all I did was every time I made a mistake, I just quickly restarted. It took me about 20 minutes to get all trophies. And you just pick the same picture because then of course you get better at
doing it
rather than switching up the picture. So anyway, so I've ended up with 4 platinums in like the last week somehow. Good for me. Good for
trophy hunters everywhere.
Good for trophy hunters everywhere. Good for people who thought I was slacking off, you know? Which I am, but that's fine. It's not really slacking off. I just don't talk. All right, news stories. Eurogamer writes, Lone Echo and the Order 1886 developer Ready at Dawn reportedly shut down by Meta. Ready at Dawn studio behind the likes of Lone Echo and Order 1886 is reportedly been shut down by its current owner Meta after 2 decades of operation. The news follows heavy job cuts at studio last year. Ready at Dawn Studios was founded in 2003 by former members Naughty Dog and Blizzard, and was initially known for working on its work adapting Sony's Daxter and God of War franchises for the PlayStation Portable. In 2015, its first original game, The Order 1886, released to mixed reviews on PS4, and the company, I know this is company. Anyway, and the company would later shift to focus.
So glad you didn't say it.
On VR. Yeah, it would be so awkward if I said that on this podcast. Imagine if I said that. Crazy. Its first VR project was 2017's acclaimed sci-fi adventure Lone Echo, followed by standalone multiplayer spin-off Echo VR. Yeah, sucks. We'll never get to know. There's an alternate history here somewhere where they come back in, they make the Order 1884 or whatever we.
Whatever the joke was that we ran for
ages. Looking back, when was we running that joke? Until they were purchased? No, hold on. After they were purchased? They were purchased by the time we started this podcast.
I mean, Nick was the one who made that joke. Or no, it wasn't a joke. It was a really bad prediction from memory.
Yeah, I remember that. It would be like, all right, what's your prediction, Nick? The Order 1887 or what? Yeah,
84.
Fucking 84.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, which now thinking about it makes absolutely no sense. Like, I mean, it was already a terrible prediction, but like their first VR project was in 2017.
Yeah, but they weren't purchased by.
So we just thought they were coming back. Okay, true, I guess. So they announced they were purchasing them in 2020.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, there was a 3-year period, I guess, where this joke was happening, and then when they purchased, we ran out of steam.
Just like the discussion around Order 1886.
Yeah,
ran out of steam very quickly.
Yeah. To be fair, we used to talk about that game quite a lot.
I know there are big fans of that game, even though didn't you do a platinum run? Somebody did a stream of it from memory.
I never did a stream of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I definitely don't mind the game.
No.
I don't love it. I think it's a solid 6 or 7. Yeah. But even if I gave it a 6, I'd probably say I enjoy it slightly more than the 6. Maybe I enjoy it at the level of a 7, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was a PS4 launch title, right? So I mean,
yeah.
And it was one of those titles that was there. It was a graphic showcase game, rather than
running at 30 frames per second.
Yeah,
no, 24 frames per second.
Yeah,
wasn't that the thing?
Who cares? Nobody cares how many frames.
No, that was one of the things that people got really angry about, was how many frames the game ran.
Actually, that makes more sense in hindsight.
Yeah.
All these nerds upset that this game's running at 24 frames per second. Where's my extra 6 frames? Bullshit.
And
saving money.
And it ran in
cost cutting.
It was letterbox, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that was the thing. It was a cinematic game.
Yeah.
Ahead of its time. Anyway, so Nova Studio shuts down for 2024, basically. What was I listening to today? The Well Played podcast and Skill Ups on there. What do you mean? Was you too?
No, just that we know somebody over there who's very.
True. Actually, yeah, Zach, obviously Jackson. Which, I haven't seen him post anything, so I think he's actually a fake fan, to be honest. I really have not seen the emotional response anywhere.
Maybe he's too distraught to do anything.
Possibly. That's,
it's the most likely.
Or he's a fake fan. But it was funny, I was listening to that because as I was saying about how it's just Nova Studio shutting down. I think it was saying on that, and then they have Skill Up on there, Ralph, YouTuber. He says at the start he's like, I haven't been on the show for a while, but make some joke about how surely every video game podcast is just, you could just redo the same bit every week, which is blah blah blah. What studio shut down this week? Which yeah.
Well, I mean, you haven't put it in the show notes, but obviously Bungie has had a bunch of restructuring in the last fortnight,
quote unquote.
So,
yeah,
it's a rough time. That's why the occasional good news, that comes out, is worth discussing. on another
good news?
podcast that maybe is more related to it. Yeah.
What good news?
About, the Tango.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay. Look forward to Arcade Couch this week.
Yeah.
We'll definitely talk about that
Yeah.
good news.
Yeah.
And if no other studios get shut down before then we can just talk
then
about
it will
good
be
news.
a good week.
It won't be like counteracting one negative story with a positive spin for another. But yeah. Eurogamer also writes, it looks like PlayStation is introducing user reviews on the PlayStation Store. In a thread entitled, when did PlayStation start allowing written reviews? An eagle-eyed PS5 owner noted on the PlayStation subreddit that the company was inviting user reviews for a select number of games. Whilst fans have been able to rate games from 0 to 5 out of 5 stars out of 5, this is the first time players have been invited to leave a written review. According to some respondents, PlayStation.com is emailing players, inviting them to share their thoughts on a handful of games, including Helldivers 2, Fortnite, Resident Evil 4, and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. As some commenters opine, the success of user reviews does vary, with many pointing out how useful Valve's listings of how many hours a player's played thus far and how much they had played at the time they left a review. Right now, the feature seems to be limited to a handful of games. You have to have a digital version of the game to participate, and reviews can only be submitted via the PlayStation.com site. What do you think about bringing user reviews to the digital storefront?
Seems like a waste of time and money and effort, User reviews don't mean anything, and if you want to get user reviews, there's like a gazillion different places you can get them on the internet.
Do you think this? But I think is there something to be said for? I don't know. If done right, like you have to have played X amount of hours, rather than to help filter out the trolls. Like, because if you say other places, obviously I'm thinking like Metacritic, where people just review bomb every game they hate or every game that happens to have a woman or person of color in it, right? If there's like a way that can't happen, and it is somewhat truthful, or like at least people's who have played the game for a start, is that at least somewhat more help? Like, I don't know.
I don't know if it's helpful. It's there. It's if somebody's swayed by Germbuster 777's review on the PlayStation Store.
Where did you get that name
I don't
from? Know. Germbusters what? 772.
No.
Are you sick again? Didn't you just have a fucking cold?
I feel like I'm been sick forever.
Vitamin D, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, probably.
Vitamin D. You better get over this before PAX. Like,
yeah, it'll be there, and then I'll
sick
die
for like
again
fucking
PAX,
4 months by that stage. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. If that sways, if anyone has tips
for Ash, and so he can't get sick, please write into explosionnetwork.com/Twitter, explosionnetwork.com/Discord, because
stay inside.
Like, I actually think you've been sick for a month at this point.
Yeah, it's just a cough that won't go away. So,
are you dying?
Could be. I mean, technically, we're all dying. So, each day is one day closer to death.
Jesus Christ.
And that's Germbuster's review of God of War Ragnarok. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Or yeah, is someone's written review on the PlayStation Store going to sway your opinion into buying a game? Probably not. Is it going to be?
I don't know. We're not the audience. I don't feel like we're the audience for user reviews.
No. Who is the audience for user reviews?
I don't know, normal people, right? I don't know.
Are they?
Do
they look at do you think they currently look at the star ratings on games and go, oh, it's 4+ stars, must be pretty great. Better buy that one.
No. But psychologically, if you saw it has, if you could scroll down and see some, I don't know. I actually don't know if it matters or not. Because it's hard for me to say, because like I don't think any of us care. But that said, I will say I do not that it ever sways or like it never affects my opinion for anything. Because A, I don't really care, and B, I'm in a world where I review so many different things myself that I just cannot care, right? Cannot care what a user review says.
Yeah.
But I do scroll through Steam reviews just out of intrigue sometimes.
I mean, Steam reviews are done well because there's a community. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's the key thing. There's a community in Steam reviews, like whether it's people who enjoy like making jokes about the games they're playing, or like people who do want to be helpful, like writing reviews in there. It's not just, oh, there's a woman in this game. I hate.
But there are funny ones, like the person who's played like 16,000 hours of a game and just gives it like 1 out of 10 that says game's terrible. You know, stuff like that's funny. So I don't know if the reviews can add some funniness to it, then I'm for it.
Yeah, I know. Why now? It's just
I'm pretty sure it's been on their Trello board for 10 years. They're just getting into it, you know.
We've finally upgraded the PSN enough that we can put written reviews in.
Yeah, it's a real coming of age.
We finally hit 2001.
Yep. Look out, Nintendo will be next.
Yeah.
Road to VR has a little article up I thought was worth pointing out. So the PSVR 2 PSVR 2 works on PC without the adapter if you have the right graphics card. So in the 2 weeks since we last recorded, the PC VR adapter for PSVR 2 released. I think it's $100 in Australia, something like that. But as it released, as they write here, a number of early user reviews of the adapter are echoing many of the same points right now. Some graphics cards with the USB-C ports allow PSVR 2 users to directly hook into their GPUs and play SteamVR games. All you need to do is download the PlayStation VR 2 app on Steam, no adapter required. It's not just any old USB-C port though, but rather an oddball thing that has been depreciated in more modern GPUs called Virtual Link. So, long story short, if you have, I'll quickly read from them in a second, but there's a bunch of graphics drivers, so GPUs that you can just plug your PSVR 2 into now and it'll boot up in the app fine. You don't actually need this adapter. So, and then the other thing I found interesting is reading up people, because I haven't attempted or don't know if I will.
You haven't checked back your computer because you've got that.
I would. I have a USB-C port, but I don't think mine falls under the. So the list is this. Hold on. So right here, while the list below contains possible candidates for virtual link support, the easiest way to check is to download the PSVR 2 app from Steam and see if you're one of the lucky few who fits into that specific Venn diagram. So they list the GeForce RTX 2060, 2070, 2070 Super, 2080, 2080 Super, 2080 Ti, Quadro RTX 4000, 5000, 6000, 8000, and AMD GPUs, the Radeon 7 RX 6000, RX 7000. Now, I have a 4080. So I think,
not on the list,
but it's not on the list. So, maybe, and I'm not too fussed to be honest. But I did think it was worth pointing out that that a lot of people would have a lot of those. Honestly, anyone like my old computer, had a 2070 Super in it.
I mean, it says in this Steam claiming user reports you'll see on Steam claiming they don't need a PSVR adapter likely have one of several 2018-ish GPUs. Yeah. So, how many PC users have 6-year-old graphics cards? Am I right?
A lot.
Oh, okay. I assume they just burn their money all the time buying new graphics cards all the time, right?
No. I mean, hold on.
Got to get the newest one. Stick it in there.
How often do you think a PC game updates there?
Oh, like every year at least. It's like an annual thing, you know?
Annual
it's
thing.
Like July 1st comes around.
How much do you think the latest and greatest graphics card costs every year?
Oh, at least a good around $1,000.
Just $1,000. Just upgrade that bad boy every year.
Yep.
Oh, sick.
Am I close?
No. Do you actually? Do you know how much?
It's probably like $4 or $5 grand, right?
Yeah, it's like $4 or $5 grand. Yeah. No one's upgrading that shit every year. What are you talking about?
I'm sure there are a lot of people who upgrade.
I'm sure there is like fucking super nerds out there, but let's be real. No one's upgrading that shit every year. Most people aren't. So yes, I would say a lot of people have these graphics cards. Is the moral of the story. Also on the gear train, PlayStation has today revealed a 2 weeks ago, limited edition DualSense controller, the Astrobot one, right, Shannon? Now, we talked about this, pre-ordered it.
Yeah?
Yep, got that bad boy.
I haven't done it yet.
Do you want to?
I do want to.
You should. How do you know they're not going to sell out?
God.
You never know these things.
Yeah.
For things I actually want, you got to have some level of FOMO, Ash. Inject some of that Kieran into you, you know?
Yeah.
just be like, fuck. I need this. The world likes this. I like this. I want it too, you know?
Yeah.
You know what else I pre-ordered as a side note? Do you want to guess? I don't pre-order much on EB Games these days. Like full stop. Do you want to guess what I did pre-order though?
Some sort of collector's edition for something?
Yes, but it was one recently announced.
No idea.
The Doom Anthology one.
That makes sense.
Because it's pretty good. Like, it's a decent little collection. It's got 6 games, whatever. It wasn't actually that expensive, at least in my opinion. $140 for the 6 games. But it comes with a fucking 5-inch replica of a BFG with an LED light. I was like, I don't know. I've not been caught by I need that jank in my life in a collector's edition for a while. But I was like, you know what? I need that jank in my life. And also it's a steelbook, so whatever. Take my money for all these fucking games I already own. Whatever. And the problem was, the only reason I really checked the price of it, because I remember I saw they announced it on Twitter or whatever. I saw they announced it and I was like, yeah, cool, whatever. I don't really care. And then I went to EB Games to pre-order this controller and saw that there at the same time. I was like, fuck, that's actually cheaper than I thought it would be. Yeah. Well, I'm already here pre-ordering the controller, so
why not?
Why not take more of my money, you know? And finally, exciting news. Right to press start. Folks, Kieran writes, the wait is almost over. Vampire Survivors is coming to PlayStation consoles this month. To be more specific, Poncool's BAFTA award-winning casual roguelike indie smash hit arrives on PS4 and PS5 on August 29th. Alongside the base game with all of its updates, which totals more than 40 playable characters and 80 weapons, as well as a full list of PlayStation trophies, all 4 paid DLCs will be also available for purchase day and date of the game's launch. Yep, sign me up, Buttercup. Now, the only problem I have with this is I spent a fuck ton of time playing this game on Xbox and PC.
Yeah.
Between my my rod
cross
deck
progression.
and no cross progression, which sucks.
But
how much?
Now you can earn all the trophies.
Yeah, no, true. How much of this have you played?
Yeah, fair amount. I feel like I unlocked a fair bit.
Do you want to dive back in?
Yeah, I think Vampire Survivors is a great do something while you're playing it, I guess, kind of game.
Yes and no. I feel like you have to pay a bit of attention.
You have to pay a bit of attention, but you can. It's a listenable podcast.
It is 100% a podcast
game
and audiobook, whatever. I keep saying audiobook because that's what I'm doing at the moment. I don't want to
Yeah.
Well, I'm sticking up for the book fans, you know.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's 110% that sort of game.
Yeah, so catch up on some content that I've been wanting to catch up. That's audio based. Earn some trophies, kill some vampires.
Yeah, I love the idea of being able to be like, I quote unquote read a book while hunting vampires, which aren't in the game. For people who don't know, by the way, just as a quick thing, because this PlayStation podcast is Vampire Survivors, one of the last year's best games, full stop, IMO. Did it make our overall? No, it never made list because Kieran hasn't played it.
Might have.
I don't think it did it? I don't remember because he might have. I know I voted it. I gave it a decent amount of points, but it is a roguelite auto shooter, I guess. So you just control the character. You move the character around the screen, top down isometric thing. You just move the character around the screen, and your character will automatically attack enemies and use abilities. And then as you kill enemies, you'll level up, and then you can pick new upgrades and stuff like that. And you just move around the world and just try not to get hit, and try to pick up treasure chests and health and things that the enemies drop. But other than that, all you're doing is moving, which sounds, I guess, when you describe it, the thing about this game is when you describe it, it sounds boring. And when you look at the game, it looks ugly as fuck. Like, it is one of the most ugly looking ass video games. Like, if you watch a trailer for this, you're like, what is this game? That just looks like, especially when you watch the trailer and they just show like high, late level stuff where there's just shit everywhere. It's like, what the fuck is this game? Like, what is the point of this? I don't understand it. But when you're playing it and you're in the zone, you know, like I've played it before in like 30, 40 minutes, you know, pass, and then you die and you're like, fuck's sake. You know, so annoying. That was such a good run. But all you're doing is moving the character around. Anyway, it's also a game about surviving vampires, but there's no vampires in it. Love that. No trophies up on PSN profiles yet, so I don't know if it has platinum. Hopefully it does. It has a shit ton of achievements though, so I don't know. I don't think it'll be an easy platinum either. There's like lots of secrets and shit like that. But. All right, in the world of PlayStation Productions, 2 little stories for this week. Firstly, production has officially begun on the film adaptation of Supermassive Games' 2015 horror game Until Dawn, writes Press Start. The news was shared via a new account for the film on X/Twitter, let's not call it that, and comes a few days after reports that Peter Stormare, who plays Dr. Hill in the game, would also feature in the movie. He's joined by a new cast that includes Maya Mitchell, Belmont Camilla Ella Rubin. No, there has to be a comment there, surely. Michael Cimino, Jae Young Hu, and Odessa Zion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been directed by David F. Sandberg, who previously directed Annabelle Creation.
Also, Shazam.
I was leaving a little.
Why did they mention Shazam?
Yeah, why didn't care? I guess it's
Kieran.
A horror movie.
What the hell?
He's gone for the horror mentions.
Some would say Shazam is horror.
Some would. Well, I mean, I put it this way. I don't like. I think the first Shazam was whatever, and then I didn't watch the second one.
Second one's tough.
Yeah. So, but I do like Annabelle Creation. The script is coming from Blair Butler, who did The Invitation, Gary Dalberman, who did It and Annabelle. I'm keen for this. Now, my only thing here, Ash, is are you actually going to watch this film?
No.
But you have to. It's a video game adaptation.
Do I?
It's a PlayStation adaptation. It's
But,
I feel like I have to. I feel like I have to pull the. I usually let you get away with the. I don't do horror things. Blah blah blah.
We'll see.
I feel like I have to pull that. You have to watch this card.
We'll see. There's still time. We'll see what sort of tone it kind of hits. You know, is it more slashery like a Scream or something like that, which I can handle. Well, we'll see what they actually produce. You know,
what can't you handle? What is your I can't handle?
Alien Run Meals.
But you've watched Alien and Aliens.
Yeah, but there's just so much stuff going in people's mouths.
Now, to be fair, I got to be honest. So I'm seeing that. I'm saying not to get ahead to a different podcast, but I'm seeing that Wednesday. Oh,
yeah,
I'm excited, man. Let's go. Yeah, I'm pretty keen for this. I feel like I don't love the game. I thought the game was fine. I'm definitely not as high on it.
Rushing out to play the remaster.
No. I don't think I'll touch the remaster full stop. But I think it could make for a fun movie. It's like, I mean, obviously the game was just like basically made to be a fun movie-inspired video game. Now it's gone full circle.
Is it funny that the video game's more star-studded than the movie?
Yeah, in retrospect, sort of weird, but that's only now. Would you have said that in 2015?
I mean, Hayden Panettiere.
That was the lead, but everyone else, I don't think was. Like, I know everyone keeps bringing up Rami Malek and everything, but I'm like, in 2015, Rami Malek was, yeah. I don't think there's anyone else you're going to call star-studded.
No, I feel like everybody kind of afterwards.
It's Hayden Panettiere, that dude from
Agent from S.H.I.E.L.D., Jordan Fisher, who's a pretty Hollywood star, Nicole Sakura from Superstore. He was in it. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think.
But she wasn't in. Was Superstore out in 2015?
No.
No. So it's before Superstore.
Oh, 2015. No, the first season was out.
First season? Okay. That's it?
And the first season of Mr. Robot came out in 2015, so.
Yeah, but still. No, get the hell out of here. All right, and the last news story for this week, first teaser trailer. HBO has dropped the first very short look at The Last of Us Season 2 as part of wider promo video for its 2015 slate. The new teaser includes some recognizable scenes from The Last of Us Part 2, including the dance flashback in Jackson and that terrifying moment of a fence full of infected, plus some glimpses at the Seraphites, as well as Joel being questioned by the always incredible Catherine O'Hara on his actions at the end of the first season/game. What do you think of the little teaser we got here?
Good tease, you know? Mm-hmm. Gave you just enough, and it had enough glimpses of stuff that people who know about the game will be like, oh, it's that moment. It's like, oh, these people aren't ready, and that kind of stuff. And then I assume people who know nothing will be like, oh, this is interesting. You know, I'm excited, you know. It's true, Joel saved her, you know. Mm-hmm. I'm sure nothing bad's going to happen to him. You know?
Now, the rumor is still that, as Kieran writes here, according to Deadline, the episode count potentially smaller. 7 episodes, apparently. I know it's just a teaser, but I'm heavily leaning towards, like, it's only going to be like half the game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's, you know, I think we kind of knew that. It's just, what half are they doing? I think is the question.
I think they're sprinkling in of, obviously we see.
I don't think it's not going to be a clean cut because spoilers. Last of Us Part 2 very non-linear linear game. To put it like that. So
yeah. I did find it funny. I saw when they dropped the teaser, someone posted on Twitter. I can't remember who, but something like, I don't understand how someone's done a TV adaptation of a video game and they rush straight into the second season when the whole point of a TV show is to flesh things out. Like their point was that they could have had a season 2 that fleshed out more of the between season 1 and first and second game.
I would argue, is that the job of a TV season? Is that the job of a TV show to flesh something out?
I think you get longer form storytelling and you can choose to use it how you want. And in the first season, they chose to use that by focusing this entire episode on a bunch of side characters, which proved to be the best episode of the show. So
yeah. But we could also argue that the video game is longer than a TV season.
Yes. Well, the video game's about... The game takes about 20 hours to finish, I think, roughly. So, I don't know. If they got 7 hours... They're probably closer to 8, 9 hours, I guess, but there's no way all these episodes are. And then you double that, it'll end up around the same time, I guess.
I mean, you cut out all the walking around exploring.
Yeah, exactly. Who do you reckon Catherine O'Hara's character is? Because she's a new character.
I think she is whoever's in charge of the settlement that Tommy's living at.
It's his settlement, though.
No, he got brought in. He met his wife. and then
Oh,
he
that's
got
right.
integrated into the settlement.
Yes,
yeah.
Okay, good point. We never see them in the game. I don't know if they ever. I guess they don't.
I'm sure there's a lot of old people that could just you could
True.
randomly just choose.
True.
No offense to Catherine O'Hara, but
yeah, it's fine. I mean, I'm happy for good actors to show up in my video game adaptations. So, all right. That'll do it for another episode of Platinum Explosion. Let us know any comments, questions, concerns you've had on this week's episode. Of course, again, explosionnetwork.com/Twitter, explosionnetwork.com/Discord. If you want to support this podcast and or explosionnetwork.com all together, you can do that by heading to explosionnetwork.com/support. That takes you directly to our Ko-fi page where you can donate as little as $1. And until next fortnight, remember, every trophy counts.